What's up, world? Welcome back to another episode of JGI, Just Grow It, the podcast. I'm your host, Big City Gardener, and today we're talking about the stupidest thing that you could possibly grow. The stupidest thing that you can grow is a lawn. It's the biggest waste of resources in the world. As a matter of fact, let's go on the record and say, F*** lawns. If you drive around America, you'll notice green grass everywhere. It seems to be some sort of status symbol. But have you ever stopped to think about where the idea of grass or lawns came from? And is it actually beneficial? The idea of lawns comes from the European castles, where they would have a green carpet or a green area outside of the castle. But in their defense, it wasn't stupid turf grass like what we have here. It was actually used as a grazing pasture for their animals. Next time we see lawns popping up, it's around the 1940s and 50s in New York at a place called Levittown. And this was designed by a man named Abraham Levitt. He is actually the man behind the suburban movement. In New York in the 1940s, he introduced the idea or the concept of the suburbs. He built up an area with over 17,000 houses, and each one of these houses was told to have a lawn in front. As a matter of fact, it's said that all new homeowners were given literature on the importance of keeping up a green lawn and how to maintain it. Now let's think about the idea of maintaining a lawn. Can you tell me something else in your life that we water and feed and spend money on that gives us no value in return? No, really. What is the purpose of a lawn? What does it do? What's crazy is the idea and concept of maintaining a lawn is directly connected to social status. The biggest, nicest houses usually always have the biggest, greenest lawns in the area. Now, the idea of maintaining our lawns gave birth to a massive industry. I'm talking about an industry that's over $40 billion big. Now that we have lawns, you need products to make sure your lawns stay weed-free. You need products to make sure that your lawns are green, to make sure that there are no bugs affecting your lawns. Then you need products to help cut and maintain the length and look of your lawns. Oftentimes, we don't think about the problems that maintaining a lawn produces. All of the products that we use to maintain our lawn to keep it green and bug-free, the fertilizers and the pesticides, well, after we apply them to the lawn, there's usually something called runoff. The runoff occurs anytime we apply water to our lawn. So anytime it rains or anytime we water it. The runoff that contains the chemicals from the pesticides and the fertilizers, well, it makes its way into our sewer systems and our natural bodies of water, our ditches, our creeks, our lakes, our rivers. It pollutes our waterways. Not to mention the damage it does to the animals that come in contact with this runoff. If these fertilizers and pesticides pollute our waterways, what do they actually do to the soil underneath your turf grass? Look, I'm not anti all grass. As a matter of fact, I am a big fan of native grasses, but I am 100% against turf grass. Now, runoff isn't the only issue associated with lawns. Here in America, we have over 40 million acres of lawn. Let that number sink in. 40 million acres. That's equivalent to the amount of space that we use to produce the majority of the grains in America. That's more acreage than 30 states combined. And what are we using it to do? Grow turf grass. Not feed people, not improve the soil health for future generations. We're using it to grow turf grass. Turf grass is the most grown crop in America. We grow more turf grass than all of the corn in America combined. At least corn can feed people. What can you actually do with turf grass? Every few years, new research will come out and they're attacking the water use of different industries. A few years ago, they were talking about the amount of water that almonds use. Before that, I remember when they were talking about the amount of water that grapes use, not to mention the amount of water that marijuana or corn uses. But you know what's funny? Lawns use more water than all of those crops combined. The EPA says that we use over 40% of our fresh water to irrigate lawns. And they say that when the summertime rolls around, that number jumps up to 70%. Look, man, I don't want to hear anything about a drought or us needing to conserve water when we are willing to waste this much water on a crop that gives us nothing in return. We talked about the industry that lawns have produced. Now let's talk about the pollution that is associated with lawns. Now I'm not talking about the runoff anymore. Here I'm talking about maintaining the lawns. In order to maintain these lawns, you need lawnmowers and edgers and things like that. All of these products either run off of batteries or they run off of gas. Stop for a second and think about the noise pollution associated with lawnmowers, blowers, and edgers. Stop and think about the fact that all of these machines either run off of gasoline, which produces pollution, or batteries. Now, I know the idea of batteries sounds better, but what does it take to actually produce these lithium-ion batteries that we're using in our lawn care equipment? Do we account for the effects that this has on our environment? Probably not. We just go out there and think we're doing good by maintaining our lawns. So let's stop for a minute and think about what we're doing. Let's think about the effect that our actions have on the environment, not just now, but for future generations. I want to leave this world in a better place than when I got it. I want to make sure that my kids have the opportunity to experience this world and the earth in all of its beauty. But if we keep on growing lawns, this useless crop, we're doing more damage than we are good. Instead of wasting space with the lawn, let's switch it up. Let's grow vegetables. Let's grow berries. Let's grow native plants. Let's grow flowers. Let's grow roses. Let's grow trees. Let's grow anything besides a stupid lawn. And that's it. Thanks for tuning into this episode of Just Grow It, the podcast. I'm your host, Big City Gardener. You know what I need you to do? I don't need you to go outside and get your hands in the dirt. I need you to share this episode with as many people as possible so we can spread the message. Stop growing lawns. Grow anything besides a lawn. And when you're outside converting your lawn into an amazing edible gardening space, go ahead, put your favorite headphones on and turn on Just Grow It, the podcast. Have a great day. Before I let you go, I need you to do more than one thing. First, I need you to like, comment, subscribe to the podcast. Second, I need you to tell a friend or two about the show if you enjoyed it. And if you have anybody you think I need to talk to, I should interview, send the name over, put it in the comments, or send me an email, igrow@BigCityGardener. And check me out, man, on Instagram and on all social media platforms, Big City Gardener. We out. Oh, almost forgot. Just grow it.